guys, welcome back to the official YouTube channel of Anastasis Academy. So we are at the 6th episode of Bibliophile. Bibliophile, a series wherein we try to take one article from somewhere on the internet and we try to analyze it, read it together, get the vocabulary, try to understand the structure, flow, inferences, examples, and basically get comfortable with various different topics and domains and improve our reading skills. Today, we have a very special topic to discuss, something that gives the cat aspirants nightmares. So we are going to start with philosophy passage today. Let's begin with a quote by Blaise Pascal, who said that all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. दुनिया की सारी प्रॉब्लम्स जो हैं यहां से निकल के आती हैं दैट इंसान जो है वो अकेले एक रूम में बैठ के शांति से सोच नहीं पाता है, राइट? So the passage today is existentialism, one of the topics that have been known to reappear in cat. If you have ever pondered the meaning of existence, one second. If you have ever pondered the meaning of existence or questioned your purpose in life, you have partaken in existentialist philosophy. If you have ever thought, why do we exist? And what is my purpose basically? Then you have unknowingly taken part in existentialist philosophy. You may not know the word, but you have done it. It would be hard to find someone who hasn't asked themselves the big questions. What is the meaning of life? What is my purpose? Why do I exist exactly? For thousands of years, these questions were happily answered by the belief your purpose in life was assigned prior to your creation, right? So here, this purpose. So these are the questions that we often ask ourselves. And if we indulge in asking these kind of questions, chances are we have also indulged in the gamut of existential questions, right? For thousands of years, what happened was these questions were answered by a certain belief that your purpose in life, so your elders will tell you, your priest will tell you that your purpose in life was assigned to you prior to your creation. Before you were born, call it kismat, call it fate, call it vidhi ka vidhan, it was written already how your life will be spent. The existentialists, however, disagreed. They didn't believe this, that your purpose of existence was created before you were born. They did not believe this. Existentialism is the philosophical belief we are each responsible for creating purpose or meaning in our lives. So we give purpose and meaning to our lives as we go on living. It's not pre-decided. Our individual purpose and meaning is not given to us by gods, governments, teachers, or other authorities, even family. Right? In order to fully understand the thinking that underpins existentialism, we must first explore the idea that it contradicts, which is called essentialism. Now, what is essentialism? Essentialism was founded by the Greek philosopher Aristotle. It's very well-known philosopher Aristotle. In Hindi, we call him Arastu, who posited, as in gave a proposition, everything had an essence, including us. An essence is a certain set of core properties that are necessary or essential for a thing to be what it is. For example, if I have this pen, the essence of this pen is to write. If I have a hairbrush, the essence of this hairbrush is to be able to brush somebody's hair. If I have a bottle of water, the essence of this bottle is to be able to quench the thirst of people who drink from it. A book's essence, for example, is its pages. It could have pictures or words or be blank, be paperback, hardcover, tell a fictional story or provide factual information. It can do anything. Without pages, though, it would cease to be a book. So the essential attribute that defines you is called your essence. It can be for a living thing or for a non-living thing also. Right. Aristotle claimed essence was created prior to existence, something that many of us still believe. Right. For people, this means we are born with a predetermined purpose. Okay. This idea seems to imply, whether you are aware of it or not, that your purpose in life has been determined prior to your birth. And as you live your life, the decisions you make on a daily basis are contributing to your ultimate purpose, whatever that happens to be. Your purpose can be anything. Your purpose can be to become a scientist or make a lot of money or create a family or be an athlete or change, bring some social revolution or some cultural revolution or not do anything. Maybe. This was an immensely popular belief for thousands of years. I would say that even now it is a very popular belief in the society that we live in, you and I. And it gave considerable weight to religious thought that placed emphasis on an omnipotent God. So, this philosophy talked about the omnipotent God who created each being with a predetermined plan in mind. So, there are 7.5 billion people in the world, there would be 7.5 billion predetermined plans for their lives. And I'm not even talking about other species, flora and fauna, other than humans. If you agreed with this thinking, then you really didn't have to challenge the meaning of life. Then you don't have to do anything. You don't have to ask questions also. Na? It is a map on which you are anyway going because you're predestined to do it. Or search for your purpose. You don't have to search for it. It will come to you because God already provided it for you. Right? That is essentialism. Existence precedes essence. While philosophers, including Soren Kierkegaard, these are very important names, okay? One second. Kierkegaard, Fyodor Dostoevsky, Friedrich Nietzsche, they were authors, philosophers, all of them, questioned essentialism in the 18th century. Existentialism was popularized by Jean-Paul Sartre, we call Sartre, in the mid 20th century following the horrific events of World War II. As people questioned how something as catastrophically terrible, like catastrophically terrible as no, almost like apocalyptically terrible, like thorough disaster, World War II. Something catastrophically terrible as the Holocaust, wherein like official figures are 6 million, unofficial figures are 10 million, which is 1 crore people were just killed over a belief, right? Holocaust, wherein the persecution and then killing of Jews by the Nazi party and the affiliates could have a predetermined purpose. People started questioning that if there is a God up there, why is God letting this happen? ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता that 1 crore people, their predetermined destiny was to die in a concentration camp. So people started questioning it in the face of what they were observing. Yeah. Existentialism provided a possible answer that perhaps it is the individual who determines their essence, not the omnipotent God. You understand how essentialism was negated by existentialism, and the catalyst was World War II. People were already thinking about it in the 19th century. But in 20th century, it was given a name, existentialism, that you, the individual, you are giving the meaning to your life and purpose. There is no omnipotent God who is writing the script of your life before your birth. That's what existentialism says. The existentialist movement asked, what if we exist first? At the time, it was a revolutionary thought because everybody believed in essentialism in his or her own ways, and religion was there to support that belief. You were created as a blank slate, tabula rasa, right? And it means empty slate. And it is up to you to discover your life's purpose or meaning. While not necessarily atheist, existentialists believe there is no divine intervention, fate, or outside forces actively pushing you in a particular direction. They believe that They could believe in God, but they could believe in God, they could not believe in God. Existentialists. But all the existentialists believed that there is no divine power which is, prodding you towards your purpose, that go beta, do that. Not happening. Every decision you make is yours. Yeah. You create your own purpose through your actions. The burden of too much freedom. What does it mean? This personal responsibility to shape your own life's meaning carries significant anxiety inducing weight. Many of us experience a so called existential crisis where we find ourselves questioning our choices, careers, relationships, and the point of it all. Oh, why should I even get educated? Why should I even get married? And why should I even make money? And why should I buy policies and life insurance and so on and so forth? We have so many options. If there is no predetermined destiny, that means there are thousands and millions and trillions of possibilities that we can do. How do we pick the right ones to create a meaningful and fulfilling life? How? Man is condemned to be free, condemned to be free. Look at the irony of the um, construction here. You're condemned to be free because once thrown into the world, he is responsible for everything he does. Jean-Paul Sartre said so, that you're condemned to be free. In many ways, it is nice to know that somebody has written a script for me and I just have to do what I'm doing, and it's okay. That is my purpose. Just when I think that, okay, there is nobody guiding me, there is no God, no government, no religion, no society which can govern me, the moment that happens, now I am responsible for every choice that I'm making. Cannot blame anybody else, right? I'm living the life that I made choices for. Freedom is usually presented positively, like we were saying, condemned to be free. But Sartre posed that your level of freedom is so great it's painful. I mean, come on, when you open Swiggy or Zomato in the dead of the night and you want to eat something bad, which is something like a burger or a fry or a pizza, I don't know what gets you interested, but too many choices. It's good to have somebody tell you that just order one veg roll. Yeah. To fully comprehend your freedom, you have to accept that only you are responsible for creating it or failing to create your own purpose, personal purpose. There is no family, no God, no government, no religion that you can blame. It's you. You have to understand the why it is scary. Without rules or order to guide you, you have so much choice that freedom is overwhelming. The absurd in existentialism. What do you mean by absurd? Life can be silly, but this isn't quite what existentialists mean when they talk about the absurd. In the world of philosophy, absurd is not being silly. They define absurdity as the search for answers in an answerless world. It's the idea of being born into a meaningless place that then requires you to make a meaning. Sometimes we all look at we all ask questions, like, God, I did everything right in life. Why did I have to fail? Or something like, he was such a nice man. Why did he have to die? You know, he's not done anything good in life. Why is he a millionaire? Such questions. And I have to make meaning of everything. The absurd posits that there is no one truth, no inherent rules or guidelines. This means you have to develop your own moral code. You can't go by what I feel right or what I feel wrong. What I feel is right and what I feel is wrong. You have to create your own moral code that, okay, these are the things I'm okay with, and these are the things I'm not okay with based on your intelligence, understanding, observation. But we rely most of the times on past experiences of other people, like mom tell me what to do in the garb of guidance. We don't create our own moral code. Na? Sartre cautioned looking to authority for guidance and answers because no one has them and there is no one truth. What can be true for me can be very, very not true for you. Like that. So if I am giving you guidance, that's a problem. It might be my truth, but not necessarily your truth. Living authentically and bad faith. What do you mean by that? Coined by Sartre, the phrase living authentically means to live with the understanding of your responsibility to control your freedom despite the absurd. Again, I'm going to read this. Coined by Sartre, this phrase, living authentically, means to live with the understanding of your responsibility to control your freedom despite the absurd. There is the absurd. You are trying to make sense of a senseless world. But then, with the choices that you have to create a moral code that can help you understand your responsibility and your actions. Your actions will have consequences, right? Any purpose or meaning in your life is created by you. Yeah. If you choose to live by someone else's rule, which we do usually, I am living by my Baba's rule. Baba is dad. Or I am living by my husband's rules, or I am living by my government's rules, or I am living by my religion's rules. Yeah. Be that anywhere between religion and the wishes of your parents, then you are refusing to accept the absurd. You are not accepting that it's going to be a meaningless world. And you are looking for answers in a meaningless world. What answer I have gotten from my experiences may not be the same as what you would get from your experiences, right? But we still go on asking people, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Yeah. Then you're refusing to accept the absurd. You think that there is an answer, there is one way of living. Sartre named this refusal bad faith. It's not good faith, it's bad faith, as you are choosing to live by someone else's definition or meaning of meaning and purpose, not your own. So, what's the meaning of life? What's the summary of all this? If you are now thinking like an existentialist, then the answer to this question is both elementary and infinitely complex at the same time. You have the answer, you just have to own it. Yeah. Then what to do? You know what to do. There's only one way of doing it. That's your own way that you have to find. So, I hope you understand that, existentialism got a lot more popularity than before in the mid 20th century because of the large scale losses, not just Holocaust. World War II was catastrophic for so many countries at the same time. People were dying, people were getting widowed, children were dying on the street of malnourishment and starvation, and young men were dying unnecessarily just to satiate the political ambitions of a few. So it gained popularity then, this philosophy. And a beautiful example that Jean-Paul Sartre gave once was this, based on this thing, what do you call existentialism. It was that there's a person who enlisted in the army, and he can go to a war and fight for the country, or he can take care of his ailing mother not well, old. So he has a choice to make. There's a dilemma. If he goes to a war, he will make a very small contribution to something that can change the fate of the society. So a small contribution in something big. But if he stays, doesn't go to the war, then he's going to make a big contribution, but just to his mother. So which one is the correct decision? We can't say. The correct decision is the one that he would take for himself. That will be the correct decision in his eyes, right? So it's a beautiful theory. Yeah. So essentially, existentialism is the philosophy which succeeded essentialism, and it states that a person gives identity, meaning, and purpose to his own life and his own actions in spite of the absurd. That's the main idea, right? The style is pretty simple. The style is revelation. He's revealing a lot of things, right? He asks a lot of questions also. Yeah, it's a very good passage. You can read more about existentialism and other philosophies. Yeah. So that's about it. Thank you very, very much for joining in. Keep reading, keep learning, and focus on passages on philosophy, because I don't want you to feel that I've never done these things in the past. On the D Day, you get a philosophy passage for the first time, might not be the best idea for you, right? So you will not be dealing with English issues, you will be dealing with domain issues there, right? Thank you very much. And I'm going to see you in the next episode. Bye bye.